And welcome back, everyone, to part 5 of What If Naruto Went Rogue and Started His Own Village. Last time on Naruto What If, the preliminaries had happened, and they'd gone. So now we have a month before the finals. The people who want to go back to their respective villages go back to their villages. The people who stay, stay. Naruto bids farewell to the third for now, and they go off. Unfortunately, at this point, Danzo and the elders can't do anything. The Uzu has been nothing but, cooperative. They gave back a powerful weapon that was stolen from them. That was a relic of the second Hokage. And they've even, they're starting to enter a partnership. I was combining enter and partner together. Partner and ship it over. Enter a partnership, an alliance. Yeah, they can't really do anything. Now, something got brought up in the comments that I realized after the fact. I went, shit! I forgot to include Sai in the preliminaries. So I did make the quick correction. So instead of Choji fighting Kankuro, it will be Sai, because Sai would have fought Kankuro. Also, I might have said Akatsuchi is in the finals. I believe I meant to put Omi in the finals. So there's one lightning ninja in the finals right now. So that's important for later. But let's get more into what happens afterwards. I mentioned that they get back. It's good to be back. And they meet with Ukitake, who asks, how do things go? We all made it to the finals. Excellent. I suppose I'll be making a trek to Uzu at some point, or to the Leaf in about a month. That's right. No problem. Naruto. And it's just so you know, we have someone who's a former ninja of your village in our visiting at the moment. I don't know if you're aware of her. It took us a little bit to recognize her, but there's no mistaking it. It is the Slug Princess, Lady Tsunade of the Sanin. To which Gurren would have probably was holy crap, Tsunade's here? And Karin probably, and Fu probably even aware of this, and Karin's whoa, really? She's not like 10-10 fangirling, but she's oh man, I'd love to meet her. This is where Naruto's lack of experience comes. Wait, who? It's I'm sorry. It's who is Tsunade? Who are the Sanin, to be precise? Exactly. It's wait, you what? How can you not know? It's didn't they teach you in school? Didn't really do the best in school. And they're oh, yeah. And they explain Tsunade and all this. Whoa, she sounds really awesome. Yes, well, would you like to go introduce her? Haku's been keeping an eye on her, seeing as she's, well, it's well, what? She's not quite what we expected. Cut to Tsunade and Shizune and Tauntaun. Tsunade is getting shit-faced at a bar. Because at this point, they've got buildings set up. They've got things. So she's getting shit-faced, day drinking. And Shizune's hey, Tsunade, it's so early. I mean, it's probably 1 in the afternoon. It's still early to begin drinking. Oh, come off it, Shizune. We're in Uzu. Look at Uzu and all of its splendor. So, backtracking real quick, when they heard Uzu was up and running again, Tsunade thought might be a good place to hide out for a while. And Shizune thought, okay, maybe this will start to get her a little bit more out of things. So she's been like this for years, but maybe going back to the home of her grandmother could really start to maybe snap her out of it. And they go, and admittedly, Tsunade is a little amazed, just how bustling the village is. It is impressive, all things considered, that it's only been around for a few months, but they've got this much going on. She can tell they're still clearly building, but she just kind of scoffs, let's find the nearest hotel, get settled in, then find the nearest bar. And they find the one hotel that is available for visitors. Goes to the bar. She's looking around. It's amazing what they've done. All these people, they've made a home for outcasts. That's what they say anyway. Yeah, it's on their sign, Shizune. And she's just drinking. It's so what? And finally, an Anbu shows up, but the only real Anbu, which would be Haku, right? It's Tsunade, there's someone here to see you. There are some people here to see you. And there is Gurren, Naruto, Karin, and Fu. And they're all happy. So I was what do you brats want? Oh, we just wanted to meet you and say hi and welcome me to Uzu. I was oh, thank you. Now, please leave me alone. If you got nothing better to do, I got some things to do. And they're all put off by that. Yeah, no, it's amazing. I mean, I used to be a Leaf Ninja too, so it's just I'm amazed that another Leaf Ninja is visiting the village. And so I haven't been a practicing or a active ninja in over a decade, brat. I left. I left my village. I left my home, just like you guys left your homes and started your new home. And they're like, wait, what? It's like, well, wait, but you're Lady Tsunade of the Sani, and you're one of the strongest ninja Leaf ever created. It's like, it's just an honor to meet you. Well, honor this, honor that. So why didn't you go honor me by getting the fuck out? Or leave me the hell alone. And they're all just like, whoa. And Gurren's like, excuse me. And Gurren actually does, excuse me, there's no reason to be rude. These kids just wanted to meet you. Naruto's never met, hadn't even heard of the Sani. You hadn't heard of us until then? Apparently not. And even if I had, I'm guessing the stories were really exaggerated. To which she just kind of gives them a little guy, like, maybe they were, maybe they weren't. Yes, you'll never know. And they all says, this is not the Tsunade I've heard of. What the hell happened to her? And Shizuna's like, I'm so sorry for her. I really am. She's just been through so much, and she's kind of broken. It's like, and it would be Naruto's like, so she's been through a lot. So what? To which Tsunade just kind of like, mm-hmm. She's like, kind of stops. Like, it's not. We've all been through shit. Why do you think we created a village? Why do you think we came back to a place that was destroyed to rebuild and start anew? Because we've all been through shit. But you don't see us just treating people like crap just to make ourselves feel a little bit better. And Tsunade now just turns around and says, you don't know a goddamn thing about me, Brad. Yeah, well, the one thing I know, and this would be Naruto, and I think, the one thing I know is you're just an angry old hag. That's what I know. And everyone, even Gurren normally would be a little bit more. Karin and Fu are like, ooh, no. And Gurren normally would probably be a bit more Naruto. You can't say that, but she's not liking her attitude either. And it's like, I'm sorry, what the hell did you say? And you heard me. You're nothing but an angry, bitter, stuck up her own ass hag. To which she just breaks the cup, and she's about to deck Naruto. It's like, yeah, I think. To which the bartender comes like, I think you've had enough, man. It's like, what? I think you've had enough. Pay and leave. And she suddenly can now see everyone at this little stand restaurant. Everyone there, they're all glaring at her. Like, no one here likes her right now because she has been just constantly disrespecting this place since she got here. And she's actually a little put off by this. Like, what? You think this is all impressive that you're able to do this? Villages come and go all the time. Your little dreams, they don't mean anything. One day you have them, the next minute and you're dead. And guess what? That's what's just going to happen here. So you know what? And she just pulled out my, take that and go. Is like, yeah, you can take that and go. Yeah, sorry, take a hike, Grandma. You're not welcome in this village. Like, and he calls her Grandma. He's like, I'm sorry. What was that? Call me Grandma one more time. And Naruto, all of a sudden he feels a hand. I apologize for what he says. You should get control of your Genin, a little Genin better, all right? By the way, I don't. If in case you didn't hear him, he said, and she turns around again, only to have Gurren, who's crystallized her hand with a big crystal box of. He said, "You're not welcome here anymore, old hag." And just clocks Tsunade. Boom! Tsunade goes skims. Oh. And that's to paraphrase Richard Pryor. And the funny thing about getting punched in the face is punching you in the face will sew your ass up. And like she's like, who the? Oh, it's like you come into our village, we take part of our hospitality, and you just have the gall to just sit there and insult. Now, by the way, this may seem out of character for Tsunade to be this mean. When you really kind of go to how Tsunade was when we first run into her, this would be really in character. Plus, coming back to the home of an ancestor and just seeing this and just being completely disillusioned and bitter and all that. I think this would be very much as out of character. It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, you bitch. And she comes in and just, and she's fast. And Gurren is fast too, but Tsunade's fast. And she just puts up the gloved hand, which cracks immediately. Just shatters. She goes flying back. Only for Tsunade to start running. Her feet get caught. What? And she just comes in, crystal style, crystal wave. Just a wave of crystal, just crystal? What the hell? And he just smashes it. And then Gurren comes in again. This time it's just firing like crystal fists at her. She's just blocking. Gurren comes in, just boom, smashes it with it. Like, I don't, I've never actually known what the name of this technique is when you kind of like do that. Or, boom, boom. But either way, I've never known the name of that. Let me know what that technique in terms of a fighting is. Because, that's a jab. That's a hook. I believe a haymaker is I don't think that's a haymaker. Oh, no. A haymaker is when you just, like, put it all in. That's a haymaker. But I don't know what that is. But anyway, she does that. So now he just buckles. She comes in with her knee, but Gurren blocks the crystal knee. They're now just trading blows. Now, should know is how powerful is Gurren, ultimately. We know that had push come to shove, Kakashi probably could have beaten her, because he had an elemental advantage over her. But she was powerful. And if she's gotten stronger, which I imagine she has over the time she's been here, she could give Tsunade, I think, a legit fight. I think Tsunade would ultimately win the fight. But Tsunade's just like, whoa. Honestly, Naruto's like, go on, Gurren Sensei, kick her ass. And even Kari and Fu's alone like, yeah. And honestly, they're all just like, come on. Fu might be the most level-headed of them all. It's like, even though she wants to see this person she respected from rumor kind of get her comeuppance, she's like, they're gonna destroy everything, the village, and they're realizing, oh crap, you're right, we gotta do something. And just as they're about to get involved, two glowing tails come out, the red tails come out, and Grandma's like, that's quite enough. Actually, no, I can imagine one tail is holding Gurren, whereas Tsunade's like it's popped and it's stuck in a ball. It's like, that's quite enough of that. It's like Utakata. It's like, what? Are you the leader of this village? It's like, I am, and you're Lady Tsunade of the Sonic. We've been keeping an eye on you since you came to the village. We just wanted to be sure everything was going okay. And that you were here here to visit, or maybe even lend your services. But, and he just pops the bubble. It's like, I can see you're not here to be of any benefit. So if you're not here to lend aid, or if you're not here to just enjoy yourself, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And she's just kind of glaring. Now the whole village now is glaring at her. Like, she just, and now that she's sobered up a bit, I think she has realized she may have said a little too much and probably didn't mean everything she was saying. And she's like, oh, I'm deeply sorry. She had too much to drink. She had way too much to drink. I do apologize. We will leave immediately. It's like, and Tsunade stops like, no, hold on. She is still drunk, but she's cognizant now and aware of like, okay, I just fucked up a bit. Okay, I need to make things right here. It's like, look, I apologize. And she's looking around to everyone. I apologize for what I said, okay? I had too much to drink, and it wasn't fair. You guys have... She is partially sincere, because these people are just living their lives. She had no right to say that, but she's also like, I'm still drunk. And I would really like a place to sleep tonight that doesn't involve sleeping on the water or the beach. So she's trying to make it so she can at least stay the night and sober up. And you built a lot. You've done a lot here in a short time, and there's nothing wrong with finding a home. And and for that I sincerely apologize. My mother, and she said my grandmother was an Uzumaki, and I came here partially to see her home and see what had become of it, knowing that it was rebuilt. And a portion of the crowd buys it. Other portion are still giving her looks. Ultimately, Naruto kind of walks up to her, just hearing that, and Karin also is surprised. Like she's part. That's right. I remember her. She's the granddaughter of the first Hokage, but his wife was Uzumaki, Mito Uzumaki. So, and Naruto hears that. By the way, roundabout thing. Think for a second some of the strongest Naruto characters that we know of. Then think about some of the characters we don't know of, how strong they are. Hashirama had a son or a daughter who then had a kid that was Tsunade. How strong was Hashirama's kid? And why did we never hear about them? Because we look how strong Tsunade is. And Tsunade is, the Senju Uzumaki is deluded in her because we don't know anything about her parentage, apart from the fact she has them. And that they would have been the child of the first. But that child, the child of Hashirama, would have been half Senju, half Uzumaki split. That would be a nuts powerful kid. But anyway. And Naruto walks up, and he's looking in her eyes, and he's just kind of squaring her up. And Utakata is kind of like, what's Naruto thinking? And he's just, all right, she can stay. It's like, what? It's like, really? It's like, yeah, she can stay. Are you sure about that, Naruto? She's still drunk, but I can see she did mean at least some of it, so she can stay. Just don't cause any more shit, Grandma. And it's like, it's that little. It's like, yeah, Tsunade, it's time to go rest now. Everyone finally goes back to their business, and it's also it ends well on that front for now. So in the meantime, that was nice. Why did you let her go? So I'm curious about that as well, Naruto. Yeah, she seems kind of pathetic. Shizune said, I'll have to ask Shizune, because I doubt Tsunade's going to tell us, but that old lady's going to tell us, but I think she's seen a lot of her, and I think she's broken at the moment. And so they go about doing their training. A lot of it, Fu is just kind of like working with Gurren on her Earth release, because one of the components of Crystal would be Earth. And I thought of a cool jutsu to combine with this, because I wondered about that blinding scale technique she does. Or shimmery scale, shiny scale, whatever it is. I'm wondered about that. But so she's working on that. Karin and Naruto are kind of doing their own thing. Karin is maybe working on some more medical stuff. Seeing as Tsunade's here, maybe she can do something, or at least maybe Shizune could teach her something. But she's also working on her adamantine chains, her water release. Naruto, meanwhile, is working more on his seals and working on accessing more of the Nine-Tailed Fox's chakra. Cut to the Leaf. Everyone's doing their training. Everyone's dandy. And a pervy sage is busy checking out some girls in a hot spring. Eventually gets caught and eventually goes to talk to the third. Now, he's been noting that we don't know how long it's been since Jiraiya had been in the Leaf since we saw him in the original. He notes that he does ask, hey, how is Naruto, by the way? And the third hesitates a bit. And and he goes, excuse me, could you bring in us Danzo and the others to come in? And so once again, just to really put it on the elders, he explains to Jiraiya what happened. And to say that there is a large amount of killing intent in that room would probably be an understatement. Danzo, a war-hardened, and the other two are the war-hardened elders, are kind of shaking a little bit. Just like, let me get this straight. Third's legacy, my godson. The fourth's legacy, my godson, holder of the Nine-Tailed Fox, got so fed up with your treatment of him that he decided to leave and then create his own village. Is that about right? So, that would be correct. And he's like, even Danzo's scrumming a bit. And he's just like, and he's got a Rasengan just glowing in his hands. He's finally just, well, then I'm taking a trip to Niruzu then. Right now, they should be open. I'm told it's open borders there right now. Though they do still have defenses. As long as I go in peace, I should be welcome. But I'm not done with you three. And Saruto was just kind of glaring. He's like looking at it. Every time they're getting like comeuppance, he's just like, oh my god, this is hilarious. And so he goes about his day. It doesn't take Jiraiya long to actually get there. In fact, he could probably figure out a way through the toads to get there almost instantly. But he gets there, and he sees the ninja welcome him in. They see that he's not necessarily technically a ninja of Konoha, but they probably do know some of them who read Make Up Paradise. Probably like, oh my god, you're Jiraiya. It's like, yes, yes I am. You're the author of it. I see you are fans of my work. True connoisseurs indeed. Here's an odd here. And he's like, You got an autograph copy. It's like, ah! So I can see something like that happen. And then like maybe like some of the wives are like, it's like ah. Eventually, though, Jiraiya does the Anbu. Haku should say, Jiraiya-san. Is like, yes, Anbu. Thank you for joining us in Uzu. The Uzukage would like to meet you. Certainly. And so he goes up and he meets with the Uzukage, with Utakaja. It's like, it's fortuitous indeed. 2 Sanin in 1 week. It's like, 2? Oh, that's right. Your former teammate, Lady Tsunade, is also here. Tsunade? She's here too, huh? Well, how about that? It seems Uzu really is, New Uzu is the place for the outcasts. Yes, how are you liking our village? From the Lily Cut. I've got to say, you've done quite an impressive job for such a short amount of time you've had. So tell me, what brings you to our village? And then Jiraiya gets a little bit more serious, though he still has a bit of a smile. I'd like to meet the ninja you have here called Naruto Uzumaki, if that's possible. And Utakaja eyes narrow a little bit, and he's kind of got the whole like, may I ask why? I'd just like to meet him and just meet him and see how he's doing. So you're not here to try to bring him back to the leaf? What? Hell no. Not at all. Not unless he wanted to go willingly. And he explains, the third told me what happened. And honestly, even though I'd love for him to be a part of the leaf, I can't argue what the kid did and what he's now accomplished, and in just this short time. I want to meet him and just gauge how he is. Yeah, he's important to you, I take it. Yeah, you could say that. Very well. Last I knew, Naruto was trading out this way. Meanwhile, beforehand, Tsunade ultimately did finally go and talk to Naruto a little bit. She offered now that she's completely sobered up, she did offer a legit apology. Like, look, I've seen it all, kid. I've been a part of the ninja system. I have seen it come and go, and I have lost a lot of people. I didn't mean to take that out on any of you. And so I apologize. And Naruto, again, who's been training and just kind of like is meditating a little bit, and she can see red chakra. This kind of red chakra that was stopping Gurren initially. Like, what is that? It can't be. And she probably does at least know of Chinchuriki and like tail beast chakra and how it kind of works. She's like, that can't be what I think it is. And Naruto's like, look, it's fine, Grandma. And she's like, could you stop calling me that? Well, nah. It's fine. Look, I get it. Look, I have never actually lost anyone. I can't speak to 100% how you feel, but I stand by what I said. Just because you have lost other people doesn't mean you have to make everyone else feel that too. And honestly, there's still life to be lived. You don't have to spend your whole existence or spend the rest of your days feeling bad. You can find things to do. You can find new purposes. And Naruto, I think, every once in a while, Naruto's very insightful, would probably say something along the lines of, if you're alive, that means you have purpose. You just got to find what the purpose is again. And go on, keep living for those people who are gone. They may be gone, but you're still here. Honor them by finding something better to do with your life. Finding something to continue doing. And to continue making them proud. Even if they're not here. And Tsunade is legitimately like shot. Again, talk no jutsu at its finest. It's like, really, that actually hits home for her a little bit. Like, she's just like, what? Damn, how old are you? 13? Why? It's like, nothing. That's kind of the wisdom I would have thought the old man might say. Say, oh yeah, old Gigi? Yeah, no, I might have picked one or two things up from him. And they actually have a laugh of calling him Gigi. Like, so Naruto gets us like, so what do you think you're going to do here? Do while you're here? I'm not exactly sure. And then she thinks, but I suppose you guys could use a little help from what I say. You've got a lot going on here, but your medical facilities and your hospital is still very sparse. You got very few medics as it is. I suppose I could stay a little bit and help out and just give you guys a bit more of the basics. Really? You'd be willing to do that? Oh, that's awesome. And I was like, well, I guess I owe you a little bit of an apology for nearly wrecking the street. Well, they'd probably all appreciate it. But I mean, the first thing you might be, first person I think you should focus on is, and cut to later, where we see Karin actually learning medical ninjutsu from Tsunade. Now that Tsunade's calmed down, that Shizune is very happy to see Tsunade actually taking interest again, at least in something. She's, oh, I gotta admit, you're doing pretty well, Karin. That Uzumaki heritage of yours really comes in handy. And she's like, she's beaming on the inside. Yeah! And eventually Jiraiya catches up with Naruto. And when he catches up, he is shocked by what he sees. Naruto standing there, blasting apart trees with Winjutsu, but in a red fox cloak with the one tail. Naruto has gotten all the way up to the one tail with Kurama's chakra. Still harsh on him, and his mentality is phrased a little bit because it's more aggression. But he's able to control it. He's working with it, doing like attacks like that. Holy crap! It's like, It's like, and then the chakra sees, hey. What? It's like, oh, that's impressive as hell. I think you've actually learned to come that far, Naruto. So, I'm sorry, have we met? Oh, that's right. You've never met me before, have you? The name's Jiraiya of the great Toad Sage Jiraiya. It's like, oh, that's right. You're one of the Sani. I met Tsunade's here. We met her a while back. I know. Yes, I'm told she's here and she's staying for a while. Might catch up with my old teammate after a little while, but just came here to check up and see how you're doing. Me? Why? I mean, you're not here to try to take me back. Oh, God, why does everyone think that? No, I'm not here to try to take you back. I'm just... And he kind of... Here's a question for you, and I honestly think the answer is yes. Should Jiraiya have ever told Naruto he was his godfather? Yes, I think he should have. Maybe not when they first met, because they were getting to know each other a bit. He honestly should have been there for Naruto more often than not. I got a whole adoption series about that one. But, yeah, no, he definitely should have at some point. I think here, now Naruto is no longer part of the village, maybe he could tell him, but he'd also have to face the backlash of Naruto being like, where the hell were you the whole time? And that might be one of the reasons he never told him, because he wasn't prepared for that, like mentally prepared. So Jiraiya explains why he's got an interest in Naruto to the degree he has, and how he honestly applauds him for taking the initiative and doing something more with his life. See, so he actually says, I'm proud of what you've done. But I mean, that doesn't mean you can't use a little help now and then. Well, is it really? And saying, how do you plan to help me? Well, being I would have taught you how to try to control the Nine Tails, but you seem to be coming along with that pretty well. So maybe something different. And he explains the Rasengan instead. This is still his birthright to learn this technique, so he'll teach him this technique. And so Naruto spends time learning the Rasengan. With his clones and better chakra control and all that, he gets down really quick. And Jiraiya's just shocked as hell, like, holy crap. Beyond that, though, one of the things they also do is actually exchange ceiling info. Like, two guys, like a trading card. It's like, oh my God, like, yeah, oh, you could do, oh yeah, I've been learning this. Oh yeah, but you could do this. Like, oh cool. And Jiraiya is actually elated that Naruto took an interest in seals, because the Uzumaki were seal masters. And that Naruto's knowledge of seals seems to be growing just every day he gets a chance. To the point where, and again, we'll get to this when we get to this. There'll be a bigger part of the story later on. Naruto has learned a couple really strong Uzumaki seals. One of the easy ones I did last chapter was a combination of a seal on the opponent and the barrier seal, where the opponent's chakra is feeding the barrier seal. Simple as hell, but super effective. There's another one, though, that is kind of a barrier jutsu that I have planned for later on in a very specific scenario. So, that said, they're all just trading and finally, Tsunade, who is, again, at the restaurant, having a drink, but this time she's being a bit more modern. She's also eating something. And the shop owner, at this point, everyone has now forgiven Tsunade for the outburst. And when she came back, look, I apologize. Look, save it. We've all been through a lot. We've all been there, and we've all been shit-faced. I've been there more than my fear times. Promise you won't start shit again, and all's good. And she's just laughing. This really is an impressive little town, a little village. Thank you. Then I'll just have one thing of sake and this and this. And say, well, as long as you're eating with it, I imagine it's all good. And plus, this one's on the house for helping us really get that hospital underway. As there are probably more ninja now, or at least more people who can use chakra. I think that would be a really key thing. Medical hospital doctors, as long as you can use chakra, you don't have to be a ninja. So that could be a real, like some of them were retired members of the community who could be ninja or were ninja, but can't anymore, can be working in the hospital learning things like this. So I think that would be a really cool thing to do. And so right now, Tsunade admits she's liking Uzu, and to which she also only hears someone say, "Oh, liking your stay in your in an ancestral birthplace." It's like, what? And she just looks at Jiraiya. What the hell are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing, but based on what I've been hearing about you, my guess. And he just looks at her, and he gets his own sake. You were avoiding some debts, Tsunade. He's like, shut up. I was like, so what does bring you here? Well, Naruto, actually. When the third told me he was here, I just knew I had to check in on him, see how he was doing. And it's like, that boy really is something else. And Tsunade actually has to give a bit of not a laugh, but she gets like a lighthearted joke. Yeah, he is. I'll give him that. It's like, oh, he gets to you too? It's like, in his own way. Yeah, so how long you staying here? Well, that's how he got to me. I've agreed to kind of help set their hospital up for the time being. Really? You looking to make this a new permanent residence? Don't be an idiot. But it's nice to stay in a place that isn't judging you for a while. And I don't have to worry about any debts for a bit. and besides, and she'd say, I've been rolling dice with the guys up out in front. I'm actually winning a couple times. It's like, you'll don't change. You're one to talk. How often have you tried to go into the hot springs here? None, actually. I've been busy with Naruto. Besides, they don't really have their hot springs up yet. That's one thing they probably don't have yet. So, yeah, no. And there's it. And Jiraiya's dry. And this is not him trying to get Tsunade to come home. It's him just talking with an old friend and the woman he loves. Because let's be honest, he never stopped being in love with Tsunade. It's like, it's good to see you. And she goes, it's good to see you too. And so time passes, and we end with the finals of the Chunin exams about to be underway. The first match would be Sai versus Kankuro, which would actually be passed. Because, well, actually, would he pass it? Because the idea was Gaara was supposed to kick off the invasion, and that's why when the match got passed and it was up to Kankuro and Shino, they didn't go through a match. He just threw his match. Here, though, I think you might see Kankuro fight here. But beyond that, you have Jiraiya, who's now watching. Tsunade is agreeing to stay in Uzu for the time being, to keep an eye on the village as a favor to the Uzu Kage, as a favor to them for actually showing them legit hospitality even after being a complete drunk prick. So Utaka's there, and he's been getting stronger too. Should note he has been getting stronger too. Greetings, Lord Uzu. Greetings, Lord Okage. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Indeed, I've heard a lot about your abilities from Naruto. You've grown quite some splendid young seeds here. It's like, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate your compliments. Hopefully, they'll be able to succeed your expectations. Obviously, the Kazekage is there too. Orochimaru in disguise. It's a pleasure to meet you as Lord Kazekage. Indeed, the pleasure is mine. And but before and beyond that, though, the question is, would A show up? There is one lightning ninja in the finals. There's an argument to say no, because the Kazekage had three shinobi in the finals, and all three of them were his children. Again, Orochimaru. But so that would make sense why he'd show up. However, I think A might want to check out New Uzu up close this time. He's been getting the reports Now, by the way, I may have said Akatsuchi was in the finals. I changed that, I think, only with the elemental advantage and better Kenjutsu and all that, as opposed to Akatsuchi would probably win. If we're scaling him down to more Genin, low Chunin levels, anyway. So, yeah, so that's why there's a Lightning Ninja in the finals. And so, yeah, I think Lord Raikage, I must admit, it's been some time since you've agreed to join us in the village. And Eddie, being that stubborn blood guy, is like, as long as you don't try to make any attempts, Lord Okage, I don't see any reason for us not to be civil in these times. As like indeed. Indeed. So, and again, he looks like Kazekage and Lord Uzukage, I must admit. I'm very curious to see what I've heard the stories coming about your village. They seem very impressive. And Lord and Utakata, that name's actually really hard. Utakata. I was like, indeed, we do our best to maintain the strength of our shinobi, Lord Raikage. Indeed. There was a time when we could have been allies. And Utakata mentions our nations could have been allies. For I understand that didn't end well for us back then. But maybe we can redo history, perhaps. And that's both a jabs, like, yeah, and then you and the Stone and the Mist wiped the Uzu out. But you wiped out because of the Uzumaki, not because of the Uzu in general. And so that was a jab, but also maybe we can change that. Maybe we can make something happen. And let's be very clear. They got the waterfall on the underside. They got some trade going on the waterfall. They got the Land of Waves, which doesn't have any ninja. The Leaf and them are currently working out an alliance. So if you could get the Lightning, Sand, even if the Sand, Stone, and the Mist don't agree with it, you would actually have a nice little partnership there and a nice little triangle. I like triangles. So yes, I don't actually remember what Raikage sounded like in the dub, but we'll see what happens then, won't we? And he's curious. He's definitely curious, particularly looking at the one they call. And by the way, which one? I've only given some reports based on what I heard happened in the preliminaries, but I should assume the blonde is Naruto. It's like, indeed he is. May I ask what your interest is in him? Or Utakata says that, and we're curious as well. Well, for him to be able to beat Yugato was quite the impressive feat, given she is the two-tailed Jinchuriki. And they're like, you gave that answer very freely. In the land of Village in the Clouds, we do not look at the Jinchuriki quite the same way as others do. While the villagers may still resent them, we look at them more with a bit of respect. We have no fear about actually revealing their status as we make sure to train them to be able to prepare themselves to protect the cloud. So that's it. Indeed, if I remember correctly, the Eight Tails also resides in the old village. And then yes, my brother Killer B. So interesting. Well, I hope this Naruto I've heard about is as strong as they say. I'm curious. You're not the only one curious. And everyone's like, boy, Naruto, you've now got a bullseye on your back. But we'll save about for next time as we'll deal with the finals. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks later.